Alright, so what I have here is a Winchester XPR Sporter. It's a brand new gun I just bought this year. It's in 7mm 08. And one of the things on this gun, like most modern guns, is it has a big rubber recoil pad. And with it being a Sporter and wood, it has inserts in the back for where this mounts up. As you can see, I took it off before I started this video. And it's a sticky, rubbery recoil pad. I can see it being beneficial in something like 300 Win or 7M Rem Mag, something that kicks a lot more. But I bought this gun for my daughter, and it's going to be her life rifle. I'm not really interested in building a gun that's real small that will only fit her at a young age and then be no good to fit her as an adult. What I'm trying to do is build a gun that will fit her basically from a youth on up. And Brownells website, you can get these butt plates that are grind to fit. You can get them without holes. It's just molded plastic. So it's kind of crude, but I took the measurements and it took I think it was the medium one. Maybe it was large, I can't remember. But as you can see, I have it big enough to fit there. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to remove these inserts, and then I'll go ahead and put dowel rods in there and glue them inside. Once I have that done, then I can go ahead and lay the new butt plate on there, drill the holes, run the screws in, scribe it to the gun, and shape it. So thought I'd show you guys a little bit how I'm planning to do this. Maybe it'll be helpful for you people in the future that want a simple gun without some of these newer, I guess you could call it a modern advancement, but I'm not really interested in having that on my guns. Just not a fan. One of the things I forgot to mention is I have a couple guns with butt plates like this, and they get caught on your coat. They're sticky, something that will deteriorate with time. But my 1951 or 52 model 722 Remington in 257 Roberts is a metal butt plate, and I love the way that thing comes up into place. So plastic or metal is what I want. So here are the inserts. I just took them out. Now I can just go ahead and plug those holes. So I had to cut a couple pieces of dowel rod because basically down inside here, if we can see the shoulder there or not, there's a step down spot. I had to drill it out a little deeper. Be careful on this one down by the toe because it wouldn't take much to kick out the bottom. But yep, there they are. Now I can cut. I got my dowel pieces cut, and I'll glue them in place. So here they are. Just wipe the glue off. Got them filled with a dowel rod. Alright, so I used my chisel, my flat chisel here, and I got on the ends. And as you can see, I cleaned them up so they're flush. Nice and clean. I got two number 8 wood screws. These I use for muzzleloading butt plates. They're just a simple steel screw. They can be blued or rusted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find where I want this in relation as far as up and down. And I'll go ahead and I'll drill this top hole. And I'll get it centered in the stock and drill it. And then I'll go ahead and put the screw in. So there, I drilled the hole a little bit on the lower side because I'm going to remove quite a bit on the top and the bottom. Centered the hole, and next will be countersink. I'm going to position this where I want it. Like I said, I want these ribs to be centered on the side of the stock. So I'm going to go ahead and position it, and then I'll use like a 3/32 or 5/64 drill bit and drill the pilot hole. actually ended up being within the dowel rod, so next one I use is an 1/8 inch. And now something I like to do, I like to use Johnson's paste wax and get a bunch of the wax on the threads in that hole. It kind of lubricates the threads, and it makes running a screw in and out much easier. Because what's going to happen is this screw's going to come in and out quite a few times. You don't want it too tight that it turns extremely hard, but you don't want it loose that working it in and out a bunch ends up stripping the screw. Obviously, once the butt plate's on, I mean, it's not like it's something you're going to be ever taking on and off, so. It turns so much nicer once you get that wax in there. Now you get that top screw tight. Once you get that top screw tight, you can adjust it so that you get the same reveal all the way around. Pretty close right there. I want to put a hole down here about the same distance, and then go ahead and countersink it and do everything the same. Once I do that, I will then scribe to remove it and fit the butt plate. And there you go. Nice and snug, countersunk. I think this top one could be countersunk a little deeper. This one's about perfect. Can always go a little further, but don't want to make it too deep right away. So, alright, now I'll scribe it. Alright, I'll use just a fine point lead pencil here, and I'll trace the outline of the stock onto that plastic. Kind of interesting to see there where the holes ended up being. I had one right in the center of my plug, and the other one was high, so I wouldn't even have had to done that one. But and here you can see my pencil line. So now you go over here to the sander, take it down. So there you go, screwed back on. Looks like it's practically where it needs to be, but I do want to clean it up with some sandpaper, so I'm pretty happy with that fit. I don't think I'm going to fool with it anymore. There's a little bit of a high spot there. What I'll do is I'll put some tape on here so I can't hit the stock, and then I'll just hit a couple of those high spots and smooth it out before I take it back off and sand the finish. So I just have a little bit of a high spot right in here. It's a little bit wonky from grinding it with a belt. I'm going to clean that up, and as you see, I have the tape on here to keep myself from gouging into the stock. As soon as you nick the tape, you know you need to dare not make another stripe there. That's what the tape's there for. Pretty good right there. I just have my barrel and a block of wood and a vise with some 2 blocks of wood and some leather to protect the barrel. I can rotate that and squeeze it. Now here's a hump. Take your tape off. Clean this up with some sandpaper. That plastic has a pretty sharp edge there. You're going to want to clean that up. And I guess I'll probably use, I don't know, 220, 300. Actually, you know, I probably could go ahead and get right to 300. That plastic won't take much to smooth up. Plastic's just not a product I work with much. I use metal and wood. So, brass. I'm basically going to hand sand them edges. Roll that so it's not a sharp edge. that steel wool. So here's the final product. Had a couple little flaws in it from the new. It's kind of got a dull edge from hitting it with that steel wool, but I'm going to rub some Johnson's paste wax on it once I get it installed and see how it looks. Now there you go, short of bluing those screws, there it is. A fit butt plate from Brownells. It'll be a whole lot better than this sticky rubber one that was originally on there. Also dropped the length of pull by, as you can see, probably a good ½ inch or better. Thanks for watching.